About 6 months ago, I got on my golf cart, parked it in a field in my house, and I talked basically about how exciting the next couple of months are going to be, how it was maximum opportunity, and how I said it was my favorite part of the cycle. My favorite part of the cycle being about 6 months ago when I made that video. Bitcoin was around, I believe, around 30,000 US dollars, maybe a little bit below that. And altcoins were completely gigabanged. Altcoins look like trash, right? They look like garbage. And fast forward to now, the very end of Q1 2024, the beginning of March 2024, Bitcoin is about to break its all-time high. And Bitcoin is that tide that is lifting all the boats, right? We're seeing a lot of altcoins up 5% per day, some even 10, 15, 20%, right? And it's just the beginning. Still, nobody is bullish enough. Maximum opportunity is gone. You still have massive opportunity, right? But maximum opportunity is gone. Maximum opportunity was around that time, around 6 months ago. Ultimately, obviously, maximum opportunity is buying exactly at $15.5 thousand per Bitcoin and buying whatever alts you were interested in accumulating at their exact bottoms. However, that's not incredibly realistic to get every single coin you want at their literal very lowest values. And for all intents and purposes, yes, 20 to 30K was basically maximum buying opportunity for Bitcoin. And for alts as well, because they were down 70, 80, 90% at that time. Currently, a lot of alts are starting to make up some gains. I think many of them are still 50, 60 plus percent away from their all-time highs, but we're getting closer and they're starting to get lifted. And I think over the next few months, we're going to see them explode. If my memory serves me correctly, usually in bull cycles, there is like two alt seasons. The alt season that kind of marks the top of Bitcoin and marks the top of the entire cycle, but also one towards the beginning of the cycle, which is the one that I think we're about to see now. Altcoins are getting ready to break out of, they've basically broken all massive resistance on like the total 3 and total 2 chart, but they're getting closer and closer now to breaking their previous all-time highs in terms of market cap. All that being said, Bitcoin is a couple $1,000s away from its all-time highs. I think it's probably going to happen this week, very likely going to happen this week. But Bitcoin has broken its all-time high in terms of market cap already, as of today, I believe. And how can that happen? Well, it's because every day about 900 new Bitcoin are minted. And in about 50 days, it'll be only 450 when the halving occurs. But because there's much more, well, not much more, but because there's more Bitcoin now than there was 2 years ago, the fact that Bitcoin is almost at its previous high, but there's way more coins, or at least, not way more, but there's more coins, Bitcoin's market cap is at an all-time high. And in fact, Bitcoin is at an all-time high in terms of price. And I believe every currency except US dollars and Swiss franc or something like that, it's basically like it is at all-time highs in almost every single currency. So that's another big indication as well for where we are, how bullish this is. So Bitcoin is in an extremely bullish position. Not really anyone can deny that. We're looking extremely good with Bitcoin. Altcoins are really starting to pick up steam, and I think altcoins are about to start exploding massively. I think Bitcoin could cool off a little bit here. At least in the past, that's what would happen right here, is that Bitcoin might cool off around here, maybe get rejected at its all-time high, maybe for a couple weeks, and then blow up to new all-time highs. And altcoins maybe run around that time or right after. However, with these new Bitcoin inflows from the ETFs, could Bitcoin just levitate above its previous all-time high and never come back? It's absolutely possible for the first time in history, I think. It has already done things that it has never done before. It broke the 618 like a week or two ago, which usually does not happen around this time. It usually doesn't happen until, I believe, after the halving. Bitcoin is closer than it's ever been to its all-time high before the halving, which has also never happened. And if it breaks its all-time high this week or anytime within the next 50 days, it will break its all-time high before the halving, which has also never happened before. So with that, I think also it's important to realize, I think a lot of people are scared that altcoins are simply not going to pump that much because of the ETF inflows. Well, already, guys, we are seeing signs that the altcoins have life to them. People will always speculate on in the crypto space on things that are not Bitcoin if they have the ability to do so. And so assuming there will not be an alt season, or at least the alt season won't be so strong, I think is going to be a big mistake. There will be. And whether you like it or not, again, I don't like meme coins at all. I don't like them. But I know that they will pump. And it's just something you have to accept, right? Just because you don't like something doesn't mean that you have to pretend that it's not going to happen, right? I'm not a big fan of meme coins. I think they're dumb. I think they're purposeless, but they are going to pump. And if you hold meme coins, you are likely going to make a lot of money. Are you going to take profit? That's a whole nother question, right? Are you just going to round trip it, buy it, watch it go all the way up, and then hold it all the way back down? That's what most people do. That's called round tripping. But the point is, maximum opportunity is gone, in my opinion. But massive opportunity is still in play. Massive opportunity. All I mean by that is you didn't buy the lows if you're not in yet. You did not buy the lows, not even close. But the great part about that is you still have massive gains you can make in the next 12 months. It's incredibly exciting, incredibly likely as well that we're about to see something insane. I've never seen this type of buying pressure before. And it is the ETFs. Obviously, it's the giant fundamental elephant in the room that most people do want to talk about, but there's a large portion of people that did not want to talk about it. These ETFs are gobbling up Bitcoin. They're pushing, shoving money into this space, these ETFs. And it has the potential to give us the biggest alt season of all time, which might sound counterintuitive to some people listening to this, but you have to understand how this space works. Even with these ETFs, a lot of the interest is going to be going into Bitcoin only, but you have to think it does in a way sort of legitimize and just blast interest on everything else in the space. So, and again, I say that, whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter. It's most likely going to happen. So here, I sit here, absolutely, 6 months ago, myself and anybody else that was bullish was absolutely dead on correct. And anybody that was there 6 months ago, drawing those 10K squiggly lines down to 10K, 12K, whatever it was, those people were wrong. And you have to understand that if those people are still saying the same thing, if they're not owning up to their mistake, they don't deserve, one, to be followed, and two, they're just going to lead you astray, because ultimately those people very often are also the people that are absolutely completely off with the tops. I'm not saying I'm perfect whatsoever. I'm not saying everything that I say ends up happening. But all I'm saying is that I have, myself and many people that saw this coming have a much better grasp of how this market moves and where it's going than the people that are saying all these other things. Because 6 months ago, when I said, you're not bullish enough, Bitcoin was at 30K, all of that, it was way more popular to be bearish. The people that were getting the most engagement were those accounts drawing those big scary lines going down to 10K. You have to understand that. That was what was popular. That was getting more views. That was getting more reach, more followers, more engagement than anything. And those people were dead wrong. And honestly, now I'm having trouble finding their tweets because they're not really tweeting as much as they shouldn't be. In fact, they should not be giving advice to a pet squirrel or a bird they see flying. They shouldn't be giving advice to anything, not let alone humans. They shouldn't be giving advice to anyone. My goodness, the amount of people also, you have to understand, I read thousands of comments per day. If you're in this space, you probably read a lot of stuff, but making content, the amount of comments you get, and specifically it's comments targeted towards you, man, the amount of people that were just saying, no, we're going to 10K, all that, it was very high. And now as we're clearly entering a very big uptrend, we will still get pullbacks at a certain point, but it's your responsibility to understand where we are at this point. If you've made the mistake of being sidelined this entire time, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry you listened to people that led you astray and basically just made money off of your engagement and made money off of your fear. Because believe it or not, they made a lot of money by fearing you out of your position. It's like a double bang. They double banged you. They made you miss out, but they also benefited financially because if you subscribe to their newsletters or if you signed up to their links or whatever it was, very, very messed up situation. But anyway, as we head into these next 12 months, I think the opportunity is massive. I think that I personally still think there has to be 20, 30% corrections throughout this bull market. I would think, like in the past, these ETFs are very strong and they're maybe changing the dynamic. But ultimately, I think altcoins are also about to surprise a lot of people big time.